Absolute Radio is where you can hear Prince, Mumford and Sons,
I will wait for you,
and The Killers.
Can you read my mind?
Absolute Radio
Where real music matters.
Absolute Radio
is
the home of rock and roll football. Barclays Premier League football commentary every Saturday afternoon.
Absolute Radio, tick your radio diaries. Now, well done to Vicky Blight, good work and all of that. Monday, innit? 3-day week for me. I'm off on Wednesday, back on Thursday, then off next week. Yeah, up yours. Up yours. A lot of presenters say, oh, hey, I'll miss you guys when I'm gone. I won't miss you lot, not in the slightest, you losers. Anyway, this evening we are discussing the magic of quitting. Everybody's quitting at the moment. The Rebecca lady, although she's been arrested, is quitting. 2 coppers have quit. Everybody's quitting. If you ever quit a job, it is the most exhilarating feeling ever, isn't it? 0330 123 1215. When I quit LBC, which was, in like September, I think, it'll be 4 years since I quit that place. Can you believe that? And I quit because, you know, I was used to kind of getting my own way, and then suddenly someone came in and I couldn't get my own way, and I thought, hang on a second. My contract's going to be up in January anyway. There's not a chance in hell they're going to renew it. I'm not really enjoying what's going on now. Why don't I quit? And it seemed like such a good idea at the time. I had no job lined up here or anything like that. Well, no, I didn't, did I? Well, there was a possibility, but no. Well, yes. And... you know, there were changes were being made to the show, and I was getting phone calls during the show I was doing from the boss then saying, oh, no, tell Ian to stop doing that. No, tell him to stop doing that. And I thought, you know what? I'm not enjoying this. It's making me miserable. I'm going to quit. And I did it sort of in a cowardly way, but it was cowardly in that it wasn't face-to-face. I was in a hotel room with my agent. No shenanigans going on there. And we sent a fax and an email at exactly the same time, saying, give you a month's notice, I'm off. And then literally minutes later, my phone rang, my agent's phone rang, everybody's phone was ringing, and, can't do this! No, he can't quit! No, can't quit! It's not in the plan! And it was just amazing, just kind of taking control of a situation and being in control. And then I went in that night, and we agreed that we wouldn't talk about it, and I'd work a month's notice, and blah-de-blah-de-blah. And, of course, I got the phone call on Monday saying, yo, don't ever come back. Ooh, never come back. So it was weird. But it was very empowering, and it felt good. It felt good stepping into something that was unknown and something that was quite scary. It felt good taking control, even though I was only taking control for a few minutes. And then, almost immediately, the control was taken away from me again. Felt good. Felt really good. It's at moments like that. We can expand this a little bit, actually. Moments when you feel alive. And that was one of the moments when I felt alive. I don't particularly feel alive now. Didn't feel alive before it. Didn't feel alive much after it. But that moment, I felt alive. 0330 123 1215 is the telephone number if you want to give me a call. Moments when you felt alive. Moments when you did something and you thought, you know what, this is it. This is life. This is living. 0330 123 1215. And things you have quit. Sorry, I've got terrible indigestion. I had a fry-up for lunch followed by a rice pudding. Yeah, I know. I'm living the dream, kids. Things you've quit. It doesn't necessarily need to be a job or work, although it can be. If you've walked out of a job, if you've handed in your notice, if you've quit, maybe you quit over principles. At the time I was doing this, I felt I was being quite principled. Looking back, well, I was probably being a little bit headstrong. But I felt like I was standing up to the man, and I was doing something, and fighting for the little people. Of course, no one else there who I kind of felt I was fighting on, no one else gave a toss, and they carried on doing their jobs and were very happy. But I felt I was being principled. 0330 123 1215 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. What did it feel like? What did you quit? Why did you quit it? Again, not necessarily about jobs. It can be maybe you gave up. You quit smoking. Quitting is also a stronger word than gave up, isn't it? I gave up. I quit. Quitting isn't for the weak. It isn't a sign of weakness. It's a very, very strong thing to do. These two coppers who quit, particularly the one yesterday. I'm not so keen on Yates, but the one who quit yesterday, it was very powerful. And that speech he gave, the press conference, where he's kind of flicking the V's at David Cameron. How cool is that? You can do that when you're quitting. You can flick the V's at your boss. You can flick the V's at those people around you. And that's exactly what he did. I watched that speech yesterday and it was fantastic. Fantastic. By the way, you're watching the news at half 2 tomorrow. The Murdochs. Oh, it's going to be good. Anyway. That's me clicking my thumbs. 0330 123 1215. What have you quit? Maybe you quit smoking. Maybe you quit drinking. Maybe you quit drugs. Maybe you quit, I don't know. Have a think about it for me, would you? I'm keen to celebrate the magic of quitting in all its many mysterious forms. Someone tweeted me, I quit listening to Tommy Boyd and thinking he was a good bloke after your interview with him the other week. By the way, I've got a little trick up my sleeve I'm not prepared to go into right now, but I have not quit picking on Boyd. Don't. Just, I can't say anymore. 0330 123 1215 is the phone number. You phone up, you'll speak to Eloise, she'll take your name and number, and she will call you back. It won't even cost you that much money. So here we are. Things you have quit, and some wag will call in and say they've quit listening to this show. And moments when you felt alive. Maybe it was the most incredible sex you've ever had. Maybe it was quitting your job. Maybe it was getting punched in the face. 0330 123 1215. We'll speak to you after this. Hats off to quitting tonight, Iain Lee, Absolute Radio. It's always been seen as a sign of weakness. Nothing weak about it at all. It shows great strength of character. Hey, look out, ladies, and indeed gents. Eloise is here.
Hiya.
Hiya. How you doing, Eloise?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm looking forward to having a 3-day weekend and taking the whole of next week off.
Me too.
Are you off next week?
I'm off when you're off.
And what are you planning to do with your time off?
Nothing.
I'm going on a safari.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
It does sound exciting. And it's... I'm going to say this. It's a safari where you're allowed to shoot animals.
What?
Yeah.
Would you shoot one?
I've often wondered what it would feel like to fire a gun. And I've often wondered what it would feel like to fire a gun at, I don't know, a bear or a lioness.
Oh. But you wouldn't ever eat a bear or a lioness.
I wouldn't eat them, no.
But you're happy to kill them.
If I did kill them, it would be for the sport. Sorry?
Surely that's worse.
Why? I'm not eating them.
Yeah, but just killing them for a sport, for fun, that's horrible.
But it's not that. No, it's not.
You're a terrible person.
Well, no,
You're a terrible person.
I don't eat meat. Eating the meat is the thing that I perceive as being terrible and being unpleasant.
No, killing an animal just for fun.
Food. Killing them for food is bad.
Killing them for fun. At least you're going to use them if you eat them.
I don't
know why you'd want to eat a lion.
Okay, listen, right. Well, think of all the sheep, pigs, cows, chickens that are alive because of my choice not to eat them. Probably thousands. I'm owed one lioness. I don't know why you laugh. You wouldn't be laughing if I had a rifle right now.
I think it would be much better for you to eat a cow than shoot a lion.
But it's not one lioness. I wouldn't shoot a man lion.
For fun.
But
Why wouldn't you
not...
shoot a man lion?
Oh, they're vicious. I could probably take a lioness.
Actually, I think female lions are worse because they're the ones that do the hunting and the killing, and they bring it back to the males who have the first dibs on the food.
Oh, well, there you go. In that case, they deserve to be shot, the evil buggers. But it's not one for one. It's not a cow for a lioness or a cow for a zebra.
Well, then why are you the one that made that point?
No, I
and
didn't
said
make that point. I didn't.
You're the one that said that that you must have saved so many cows' lives.
It's thousands of cows for one zebra, thousands of pigs for one lioness. That's what it is. So it's not quite as... It's not one for one. It's different. The ratio is definitely in favour of animals.
Well, it's not when you put the reasons behind it. One is for fun.
Yeah.
Just leave its carcass there and its poor little cubs, and no one's there to get them any food anymore because the females are responsible.
Are you saying you want me to kill the cubs as well? Because that is sick, Eloise. That is warped.
I'm not saying that.
Well, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is you shouldn't kill anything for fun.
I didn't say for fun. I said for sport. And
Which
as we all
is
know,
fun.
Sport is not fun. You're telling me that that sportsmen are actually having fun?
Yeah. Why else would they do it?
Okay, you got me there. But this will be different. This is a once in a lifetime. I'm not decided I'm definitely going to do it. I guess you're allowed to on this safari. It's very expensive. It's just it's a possibility at the moment.
What's going to happen to this carcass?
Well, I'm hoping we get the skin of it. I don't want to skin it. I'm not warped, and I would like to see the head stuffed and hanging on a wall above a fireplace or something.
That's awful.
Well, I don't see why it is awful.
Well, so you won't eat them, but you're
wanna eat
happy
it.
to have a rug of a lion or a wall hanging.
Or if it can be made into a cloak, that would be awesome.
A cloak or a handbag.
Yep.
And you're happy to have all these little cubs without their mum.
Or its tail as a belt.
Feeding.
What do you reckon, Barry?
Enjoy the skin of an animal without having the cholesterol trouble.
Exactly, you see?
All the fat's in the skin.
But I'm not eating any of it. I'm not eating it, am I, Barry?
No. Oh, where was you educated? You don't have to eat the innards. You can just wear the... And it's a beautiful fur coat.
Well, then it's a waste. Who's going to have the middle?
Were you around this winter? It's very chilly.
Very,
jolly
very
nice in it.
Yeah, but the
Very
fat
cold.
of the meat will be more warming than the skin. So what you should do is have a fat coat.
Oh, that's a good idea.
A coat made of fat? What the hell are you talking about, Silence of the
Yeah,
Lambs?
puffy coat.
Balaclava. A fat balaclava. Cover your face in fat. And maybe a nice innards scarf.
I don't know why you just don't club a baby seal, Ian, to be fair. You've never done that before.
Good point.
Where are
Good
you
point.
going to get a baby seal in the middle of the jungle, Eloise?
Everyone loves a club.
Well, I'm sure the lovely listeners who agree with you and your killing sport
I'm not
will
definitely...
send you over to...
Jeez, you see what I have to deal with, Barry? Bloody lefties.
Oh,
bloody
lefty,
wearing her
liberal
sandals,
nonsense.
eating her bloody muesli. Jeez.
You want to get a dog on a string, strip it, and wear his coat round his
Barry,
neck.
you must have shot a few beasts in your time.
Oh, of course I have. I've wiped out many a rare species. I remember one holiday we out in Cornwall.
Yeah.
I went out on the moors. I must have wiped out several.
Beasts of
This is where
Bodmin.
the story is, because I can't think of any wild... Beasts of Bodmin.
That's what I just said, yes.
It doesn't work. Now, can
Do
I
kids...
talk...
No, sorry, you can't. Do kids know what the Beast of Bodmin is anymore? Let's ask one. Eloise?
No.
Okay. When I was growing up, and I'm sure, Barry, when you were in your 60s, the Beast of Bodmin was big news.
What
big.
is it?
Well...
It was till I shot it, yes.
It was a beast that roamed Bodmin moors, and there were pictures of it. Yes, in the pictures that were blurry and were taken from a great distance, it looked like a black cat, but many people claimed it was the Beast of Bodmin.
Where's Bodmin?
Stop. Is it still on the echo?
No, go on, it's on now.
The Beast of Bodmin.
Bodmin's in Dorset, isn't it?
Oh, I knew I was looking in the wrong place. I shot something anyway.
Anyway, let's get to the funny stuff, shall we?
Oh. I have given up being pleasant to my neighbours.
Oh, why's that?
There are various people live near me who I've not liked for many, many years.
Are
Of
you
course-
going to be racist here at all?
No!
That's a shame. We'll carry on anyway.
No, not just people of all colours and persuasions. But, now, it's a nice summer day. Nowadays, I think I've never liked you. Why am I bothering people like, hello, Barry, sod off. Lovely day, isn't it? Up yours. You're looking well, balls. It's as simple as that. And it's invigorating, makes you feel good. Where's Margaret today? None of your business. Now go and take a hike, you ball bag.
How is that going down, Barry?
Well, it means I'm not bothered.
Sorry, I was referring to Margaret. How is that going down? I'm joking. I mean you not being polite to your neighbours.
Disgusting. No, what is not... it's going down very nicely because it's a lovely summer's day. I don't want to be bothered with it. I don't want to be bothered with it. I've got a fence that should have been fixed some time ago, and there was a time I'd feel bad about it. Now I'm literally pulling the slats off and flicking the bird through the slats that my neighbour's mowing his lawn.
Horrible Americanism, flicking the bird.
I've even had just my underpants on, pulled them down slightly to show my teeth, bent over to pick up a rake so they're looking straight into the new year.
God, that's hideous.
And if they don't like... winking at them sort of thing. But the thing is... sorry.
Come on.
Oh, no, sorry.
Please,
no.
please,
but
no.
that's, it is, after a certain age, you think, I don't like you, I don't want to speak to you, I ain't got that much longer, and it's invigorating, it's in something or other. Oh, is that the echo?
Yes, finish the song, David Bowie. No point in looking now because it's gone, but the Sun website had been hacked. I don't know how long it was up there for. I saw it. It was it was kind of grim what they hacked it with, but some may say satirical, some may say harsh, but it's gone. There are screen grabs of it all over the internet. Does anyone know how long it was up there for? The Sun front page website being hacked? 0330 123 1215. We're talking about hunting. We're talking about being alive. We're talking about quitting. Anthony's in London. Hello, Anthony.
Hi, how you doing?
What can I do for you, Anthony?
All right, good, thanks. Just heard you talking about quitting something, and
Yes.
I just thought I'd share my experience with you.
Go on, fella.
What it is, I was about 6 years ago, I was about 18, 19 at the time.
Yeah.
I think I was just turning 18, actually. Worked at Tesco's.
Yeah.
In Hertfordshire area, and basically I just took a job part-time, got mugged off big time, just like shit hours.
What's your language? Was category? Say apologies if apologies needed, but what's your language, Anthony?
Anthony Newman.
Why you...
Sorry, I'm not allowed to say that on the air, am I? Sorry.
No, you can say Newland, you can't say shit, okay, if we're being honest, okay? So those are the two... Those are just get that right. So far you've answered two questions that I haven't asked you as well.
Go on.
There's another one. So, Anthony Newland, what is your story?
I quit my job.
Right.
And I've done it with pride.
You sure you didn't get the sack? You did it?
Hold up, wait. You sound like you've been speaking to my friends, because there was vicious rumours going around afterwards saying that I stole CDs and I got sacked.
Oh, wow. Did you?
The plot thickens.
Did you steal CDs?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I swear.
Well, I know you swear. That's why I've got to give you a yellow card.
That is brilliant. That's so funny you said that. That's like made my day.
Well, you sort of told me to say it. Really, you set me up to say it.
No. There's rubbish hours, like Tuesday nights, Friday nights,
Who wants to work
Friday.
on Tuesday nights?
There's so much going on a Tuesday.
Listen, no, it gets worse. All day Saturday,
Wednesday
till
nights?
7, all day Sunday. And I was like, no.
Anthony, that's kind of
Go on.
that's kind of what work is. I did those hours when I worked in the shop. That's sort of what you have to do, isn't it?
We work Monday to Thursday night.
I'd quite happily do what you lot do. I'd quite happily.
Well,
like, you know.
Well, you know
join you one night, maybe. We'd have a right laugh.
We would not have a right laugh, Anthony, and that is never going to happen. But if you want to do what I do, then what you need to do is you need to fail your A-levels twice, have no idea where you want to go in life, then do a performing art degree for 3 years, then not work for 3 or 4 years and get really badly in debt and move back home with your mum, then work in HMV for a horrible, miserable Christmas and be incredibly depressed and vaguely suicidal, and then have a bit of luck and get your own TV show.
Well, to be honest,
that's
mate,
the
I
plan.
still live with my mum, and well, I can't even swear, can I? Well,
Nope, not
that
again.
happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, okay.
That's it, do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I do know.
Do you know what I mean? I still live with my mum.
I know
So
you've-
end of story, yeah.
Well-
You did mention another point, but I completely forgot what that was, but I did have a good point to bring back up with that, but I've forgotten now.
Well,
But
actually,
anyway,
yes. Yes,
to put
oh.
the story blunt.
Put the story blunt,
My
yes.
manager to sort me hours out. He weren't having it.
No.
And about 2 months later, we sort out, don't worry. I was like, no. Walked up to him at the end of the day, gave him the keys back. He's like, oh, you're going to finish in 15 minutes time. I was like, no, take them, mate. I'm off. See you later. Walked up, gave him a little wave.
Yeah.
See you later.
A little
Bye,
wave.
Andy. Catch you later, mate. Little wave, little cheeky smile. See you later, mate.
Well, Eloise and I are both miming your exit from your job, and boy, it looks gay.
You know what I mean? I know you can picture me like, all right, see you later, bruv.
See you later, bruv. Bye.
You know?
It's not quite a see you later, bruv wave.
And
Well, you know your ratings have just spiked, didn't they, big time?
literally, they've spiked downwards. Yes, they have. And Anthony, you felt alive, didn't you?
Fucking hell, yeah.
Oh.
If you want to hear the full unedited version of that with bonus swears, including my swear that I dumped, and Anthony's second swear, then I thoroughly recommend you download the podcast, because that is going to be worth it. That is going to be worth it. I suspect that he probably will never work again if that's the kind of language you use.
Maybe. Serving people.
Seriously, go and download the podcast and just listen to Anthony's bit, because that is a rare treat. Speaking of rare treats, Alan Caddick.
Evening, Ian. Evening, Eloise.
Hello.
There's two things I want to link. They're all linked to the same thing.
Oh, okay, Alan Caddick, away you go, sir.
Well, one thing I felt good about, because it links to quitting.
It links to...
Quitting.
Oh, quitting. Okay, yeah, one of the subjects we're discussing this evening. Yes.
Because I was
Eloise.
pushed before I was jumped.
You pushed before you were jumped. No, you you jumped before you were pushed. No, hang on.
Yeah.
What did you say?
He said...
I was jumped before I was pushed.
You
He
were
did
jumped.
say that. He did say that. Okay. And I went along with it, and then realised as it was coming out my mouth, it felt all strange and furry. Well, tell us the story, Alan.
Well, I was working in
A cocktail, cocktail bar when I met you.
No, it was a proper old man's boozer.
It was a bottle of Old Man Sousa?
No, the proper old man's pub.
Okay, you worked in a proper old man's pub, yes. What, as a
Yeah.
rent boy?
No, collecting my empty glasses.
So, okay, all right then. Yes.
Getting the empties.
Yeah, so you're getting them empty. You sure you weren't working as a rent boy?
No, I'm quite serious.
Okay,
And
then
someone
you would
accused
know.
me of farting.
So you were collecting empties in an old man's pub, and someone accused you of farting?
Which I didn't do.
No, of course not. Of course you didn't.
And they were going to give me the old elbow.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's a sackable offence.
No, you can't get the sack for blowing off, Alan.
Well, they did.
I think you could have...
That's
They did with me.
that's definitely unfair dismissal. I mean,
Yeah.
Eloise is always blowing off, and I tried to get her the sack on the strength of that. It's not possible.
That's why I've got my own studio.
That was the compromise we reached. You'd go in another studio and do it.
It's human nature, isn't
It's
it?
human nature to blow off, Alan. We all do it.
They can't tell you not to go to the toilet.
No.
It's the
Well-
same thing.
It's just like what Benet blowing his own trumpet about his Brazilian bird, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, you're just jealous that she didn't pick you.
What did you do? Why, Reynolds?
Yeah. So tell us about this job, Alan.
That was the job.
Wow. And so you were jumped before you pushed. No, you
Yeah.
were pushed before you
Jumped by one of the old men.
No, the management.
So let me get this right, Alan. You were working as a rent boy in an old man's pub,
No, I was collecting empty glasses.
emptying the old men, and one of them
Jumped you.
and you blew off on him.
No.
That's an amazing story, Alan.
No
Thank you.
wonder you got sacked.
Of course, so you would get the sack under those circumstances. Alan, thank you for being so candid and honest with us. It really is appreciated. 0330 123 1215 is the phone number. Have you ever blown off on a knock? No. Have you ever quit something?
I turn the music up. Oh, it feels another life. I turn the music.
www.thesun.co.uk. It's been hacked again. It really is quite remarkable. Thesun.co.uk. Go and have a look. It's that lol-sec lot, though, unfortunately.
Turn the music up. I got my records on. Follow beneath.
Does anyone else feel like the world is melting? Right now. It's melting right now. Nothing is real anymore. The Sun website is hacked by those lol-sec people. All the police quitting their jobs. Newspapers big. David Cameron won't last much longer. Surely. Can he? We're possibly going to lose our Prime Minister. Do you remember about 3 weeks ago? And the Lib Dems were having a terrible time. 3 or 4 weeks ago. They were getting screwed over and everyone hated the Lib Dems. Well, now it looks like we're going to lose David Cameron. I don't like it. I mean, I don't like him, but I don't like it. I like things to be safe and normal and predictable and... Oh, it's... The world is melting around us. Ben Jones is leaving. I'm doing a 3-day week, then I'm off next week. Maybe I'll never be back. Who knows? We're celebrating the magic of quitting this evening. Well, there's several things. What have you quit? Ever quit a job? Ever quit something? It's quite I remember when I quit the gym last year, I think it was. Because when I was a member of a gym but not going, I'd feel very guilty. And I'd be at home trying to watch the TV, trying to watch a bit of Cash in the Attic, and I'd feel bad that the gym was there waiting for me, and I wasn't in the gym. So sometimes I'd go and make a half-hearted effort, not enjoy it. The moment I quit the gym, when I went in and signed the bits of paper, man alive, I felt wonderful. For that second when I was signing the paper, and they said, so can we ask why? I just don't fancy it anymore. Could we tempt you with... No, just don't fancy it. Felt alive. So, we're asking, what have you quit? 0330 123 1215. And when did you last feel alive? Doesn't happen very often, doesn't last for very long at all. Very brief moments when you feel alive and untouchable. 0330 123 1215 and never shot an animal. Steve's in Southend. Yes, Steve?
Hello there, Ian. How are you?
Steve, do you feel the world is melting around you right now?
I feel I'm a little bit not as flamboyant as some of your earlier callers. That's what I'm worried about.
A lack of flamboyance sometimes, Steve, is an excellent thing to have. So don't you worry about that, my friend. What have you got for us?
I've quit a couple of jobs. I think that the most recent one I quit, I was a teacher, but I wasn't just a teacher. I was part of a senior leadership team of a school.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, you don't get called management anymore. You,
Right.
you get called leadership.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's all these buzzwords.
Yeah.
And I quit and I had nothing to go to. So I felt alive for the past year, really.
We felt alive for a whole year?
Yeah, it's been brilliant.
But so what have you done for the whole year?
Well, I didn't. I mean,
Signed
I
on,
quit.
smoked a bit of weed. What?
Oh, come on, no.
No. I'm joking. Joking, of course. So you quit. You had nothing to go to. Why did you quit?
I quit because I don't believe in the education system of our country anymore.
Wow, that's a sweeping statement. I mean, it's pretty poor.
Well, I think the problem I have with it is that there's so many. The kids are only getting judged. You know, their exams are only testing academic intelligence. And you've got 55% of the kids in our country that are leaving school without getting these 5 or more A to C's.
Yeah.
Which bear in mind are made up figures by the government.
Right.
And you know, if you've got that amount of kids coming out without getting that, and they're demoralised, yet so many of them have got other skills, so many different other intelligences, emotional intelligence, creative intelligence.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
I do, Steve, yes, I do. So you quit. No, I do. And so you quit, and what was it like? Did you have to write a letter? Did you go in and just say, I'm out of here, losers, and stand up and do a wee-wee on the desk? What happened?
No, that's a lovely thought. No, I just said I'm going to try something else, but it was just a massive relief because the school I was at was had the dreaded Ofsted. It went into this thing called special measures.
Yeah.
New management team came in, and you're getting forced to do things that you don't agree with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just a massive relief.
Do you ever fantasise, Steve? And I did. You know this couple that won. Not about steady on. Just I've used the word fantasise. Calm down. This couple that won £161 million.
Right.
Man alive! Imagine winning that. Imagine winning that, Steve. What I would do, right? You win £161 million. I would buy Absolute Radio, and I'd quit my job straight away. But I'd go into the boss and say I quit, and he'd go, "You can't quit." I go, "Yeah, I can because I own it." And then with the other £160.5 million I had left over, I'd just go and all around the world and do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, that was the other thing I did. I quit. I used to work for Carlton Television back in the day.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And you know what it's like in media, and I've got a 55% annual salary bonus.
Yeah.
And so I quit and went travelling.
Beautiful. See, and it felt good, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it was excellent. But the thing is, there wasn't as much satisfaction out of quitting that because I loved that job.
Yeah, well, that was a bit. Would you quit that for then, you muppet? If you loved it, that was a stupid thing to do.
No, I loved the being there and working with all my mates, which was brilliant. But sadly, I just didn't get that kind of internal fulfilment. I used to go home at the end of the day and think, what have I done today? Oh, I've moved Unilever into the centre break of Coronation Street. It wasn't, that was it. Whereas, the stuff doing the teaching, and you go home and think, I've actually had an impact today.
Yeah. Steve, ever shot an animal?
No, I shot a gun when I went on a stag do. They're pretty powerful.
Wow, that's a crazy stag do. The guns came out.
Oh man, it was in where was it? It was in Budapest, and you get your certain guns, and then you end up. They say you can pay extra £35 and you can shoot a Magnum. It nearly blew my hand off. They're so powerful.
Well, I was filming in Hawaii for Lost, probably a year ago, a couple of years ago now, and you're walking around in like Waikiki, and suddenly all these people come up to you and hand out flyers for shooting galleries, right? And you look at it, and go, shooting gallery. AK-47s, and they've got everything. Machine guns, magnums, all of this. And I was going to everyone else, guys, can we go and shoot some guns? And they're like, well, no, we want to eat. And they wanted to go and have cocktails and chat up girls. And I'm going, right, I'm married, I don't want to chat up girls, and I don't drink. Can we go and shoot some guns? I'll pay for everyone to go and shoot an AK-47. And they wouldn't let me do it.
Really powerful about it in there. I shot an AK-47 as well. There was a Magnum, an AK-47, and a Scorpion, the one that Keanu Reeves uses in The Matrix.
Oh, dirty, fantastic. The power.
And yeah, it's quite liberating. Yeah. So it's like, I feel like a real man now. Have you seen Bowling for Columbine?
A long time ago, yeah.
Because right at the beginning of that film, Michael Moore just makes a mockery of the whole gun stuff in America. Yeah. He goes into a bank where they're giving out a free gun if you open an account.
Yeah.
And then he just says, don't you think it's a bit dangerous giving out free guns in a bank?
Yeah.
And
they don't see the irony of it. Stephen, listen, thank you very much for that. I'm going, of course, listen, gun crime bad, bad, but I'd love to fire an AK-47. Oh, Eloise, do girls fantasise about firing guns, or is it just boys?
I think it's just boys.
Right.
I couldn't care less.
Really?
I think it's a bit weird.
But if you had a gun, and you're not shooting anyone, forget about the animals for the moment. Well, I'll convince you that's a good idea later on.
Okay.
But you're in a shooting gallery, and you get a gun, and you can fire it.
I've absolutely no desire to do it.
A machine gun?
No.
A rifle?
I'd feel a bit frightened, and I think that the power of it would probably frighten me because it's loud, and I think I'll be shot back a little bit.
I think you would. The recoil would be amazing. That's all part of it. And if you've got a rifle, then your shoulder going back.
Don't like the idea of it.
Wow.
And you, when you just did that, right? You shot it like a metre to where you'd aimed it, didn't you?
That's because the recoil. Yeah, it would be hard to aim it. If it
Imagine me doing that. It would probably be. I've shot you next to me.
You'd shoot me, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
What if I wasn't there?
Well, I might just bring it home.
Don't be afraid of your freedom.
My friend David is listening to us now. David, when the hell are we going to go out for coffee and cake and probably breakfast that you owe me, all right? Let's meet up soon, brother. called him Dave. He ain't posh or nothing. He's welcome.
Any old time.
Italy Absolute Radio, Mondays to Thursdays, 11 to 1, except for this week when I'm off Wednesday, and next week when I'm off all week. Going on a safari, and I'm going to shoot an animal. You have to pay £1,000 extra to do it, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready. You singing along there, Eloise?
I was actually.
I thought so. It's Cheer Up Sunday, Jonathan.
Ian!
Hey,
Hi.
hey, Fonzie! Fans and the fans, girls, chicks. Hey. Yes, sir.
I've got two things for you today.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Okay, well, first of all, I need your advice, and Eloise's advice to an extent.
Okay, we're the people to give advice to, definitely.
Clearly, obviously. On the bus, right, you can't speak to people. There's this zone of silence where you sit down and you're in your own world, you can't speak to anyone. It's considered rude, weird, freakish almost. And there's someone I really would like to speak to, but I don't know how to do it. Now, there's two schools of thought on this.
Yep.
One of my colleagues at work says, just smile and they'll come over and speak to you.
That won't work, okay.
Yeah.
You've just
The other
smile
way
and they'll
is-
just smile and they'll come over and speak to you. That's ridiculous. That's the worst advice ever.
Well, hang on, wait till you see the other school of thought.
Okay.
Stalk them after they get off.
What?
Stalk them after they get off.
So
I think
the fact that you've used the word stalk in that sentence, Jonathan, surely would imply
wrong, yes.
that is not a good thing to be doing.
And illegal.
So, yeah.
And illegal.
So where's the happy medium? How do you speak to someone on the bus?
I'm guessing it's... I'm assuming you're a heterosexual, and I'm guessing it's a girl that you fancy.
To an extent. Well, I'm not sure if... This is more hypothetical than anything now.
Oh, it's a friend of a friend. A friend of mine fancies this girl on a bus, and he doesn't know what to do. It's not me. He doesn't know what to do, so I thought I'd phone you up for this friend of mine who definitely isn't me.
It's a serious point, though. There's this zone of silence on the bus, and it's very weird. It's like the tube. You can't speak to anyone. It's not allowed.
No, you don't want to... I mean, I don't want to speak to anyone anyway. If there was a way I could be completely cocooned from anybody apart from this 2 hours, then I would happily... I spoke to someone out of context today, and it was all a bit uncomfortable and a bit weird, and I went on for a little bit too long. Where was it?
Really?
What was I doing? I went on... They said something, and something happened, and I said something, and then they said something, and it should have ended there. And I went on.
So they carried on?
I carried on, and it all got. I carried on too long, and they completely lost interest. What was it? I can't. It was today or yesterday, and I can't think what it was.
Was this a stranger, Ian?
Yeah, it was a stranger. Yeah.
And they were interested with you?
Yes, I know. Unbelievable, Jonathan. If only they'd been carrying a radar diary, they could have ticked that off because that still counts.
I know.
You never talk to anyone on a bus. It just isn't done. You never.
I mean, in this context, it is a young lady, yes, and so I don't. That's another problem.
Hang on, Eloise wants to chip in here. Yes, Eloise.
There was a guy on the bus when I lived in Kentish Town. I used to see him every single morning, and we got to the point of smiling, but the smiling went on for a year, and we still never spoke to someone, and then he moved away to New York.
How do you know he moved to New York?
Because I found out that he worked with Mr. Grace Jr.'s partner.
My head is blowing up. Really?
Yeah, and so
doesn't work.
It's all part of being young. Is fancying someone on a bus. When I was 17, I guess, and was coming home from school, every night there would be a girl on this bus. Didn't go to my school, and she got off one stop before me. And I would get off at that stop sometimes. Think, right, this is the night. Tonight, I'm going to go and talk to her, and I'm going to diddle it, and I never ever did. And part of me looks back, going, man, I wish I'd said something to her because it doesn't matter now, but in a way I'm glad I didn't, because that kind of yearning and it was for about a year, maybe even longer. That kind of thing. That's what it's all.
It's quite nice just to fancy someone.
It is, isn't it? You know,
and also there's no rejection.
Exactly, you haven't got part with that. Jonathan,
but I just kind of wish that I could actually speak to her and just see what happens.
Of course you do.
It wouldn't be.
What's the worst that can happen?
well, she hates me, and it's another awkward time.
You never had a friendship in the first place.
But now, at your age, Jonathan, that is the worst thing that can happen. Trust me, at my age, 38, that's nothing. And I wish that there are there are so many times I look back and I wish, from like the age of 15 up to, like 30 probably, but probably until I met my wife. So when was that? 5-6 years ago. Up until then, there are so many missed opportunities where I saw girls that I fancied and constantly saw girls. The only time I ever approached a girl in a situation like that was my second. I remember it so well. It was my second year at college, right? Yeah. I just had a meeting. Me and my friend Michael Armitt had just had a meeting at Paul McKenna's house, the hypnotist, because we had these. We were hypnotists, right? And we had these. This is when he was big. When he was doing.
Can you hypnotise people?
He used to be a hypnotist. Oh yes.
Wow.
Paul McKenna was big. He just had his first series on ITV, and we got in touch with him and said, "Oh, Mr. McKenna, we've got these ideas for your show." And he said, "Oh, here's my phone number. Come around my house one day and we'll have a chat." And we're like,
"Wow!"
And we just had this meeting, and we were like Barry Big Balls, right? And we were like dead. We were full of ourselves. And I saw this gorgeous girl on this train platform. And my natural reaction was to walk miles away from her. And my friend grabbed me and said, "Come on, let's just go and sit opposite her. What's the worst that could happen?" And we were sat opposite her. And he kept going, "Talk to her. Go and talk to her." I was going, I can't do it. Michael, do it. But then, right, she got off. We went past our stop. She got off. I got off, followed her. And on the escalator, I went up to her on the escalator and went, "I'm really sorry, but I've just got to ask, do you want to meet up for a drink or something?" And she went, "Yeah, okay, my name's Suzanne, here's my phone number." And and she was hot, man. She was hot and out
Did you
of my
meet
league.
her?
Yeah, we went out for a few months.
Oh, wow.
We went out for a few months, and then we split up, and then we went out again for a few months, and then we didn't. She wore stockings and suspenders, right? I'd never met a girl that wore real stockings and suzzies. It was amazing. She was lovely.
Considering you met on an escalator, that's pretty good.
Well, Xanthi was her name. She was absolutely lovely. And I went out with her for a few months, and it didn't work. These things don't work. But that was... but I've never been able to do it before or since. Ever.
Okay, we should move on to my second point.
Hopefully you've picked up something from those confusing words of wisdom.
All I've picked up so far is I don't know what to do.
Exactly.
I really don't know what to do.
You're a young man, and it's all confusing. Next.
We'll figure it out. The next point is, do you want a Scottish young lady to ring up?
No, thanks.
No, really?
Well, if she wants to ring up, she can ring up, but I'm not going to put
She will only ring up if I mention her, so her name's Robin.
Well, you've mentioned her.
Well, hopefully she'll call up.
Yeah, I really hope so, because it'd be a shame not to. She's been scared of you. I don't know why people are so scared of you, and it's like you have this aura.
Well, I've met a lot of people recently say, "Oh, I'd love to call up, but I'm so scared." There's a friend of mine called Gemma who runs she runs a Nambuka in Holloway Road where my band played, and she goes, "Oh, Ian, I would love to phone you. I'm so scared. I'm too scared." Why?
Maybe she's just scared of everyone listening.
No, she's scared of me.
But she knows you.
I know. I mean, she doesn't know me that well, but she does know me. And there are people that they think I'm just going to bully them or something. And I said to her, and I say it all the time, I'm only rude to people if people are idiots. If they're idiots, then I will highlight the fact that they're being an idiot and saying stupid things. But if you're nice and sensible, like Jonathan is, or I mean, Gatford's quite boring, but not a good example. But Jerry, for example, then I'll be nice to you.
Yeah.
But if you're an idiot...
nice as hell to me.
Exactly. I've been as nice as hell. Hang on a minute. What does that mean? If people are idiots, then I will highlight their idiocy. Idiocy. Is that a word?
Idiocy, yeah.
Idiocy is a word, is it? Well, Jonathan, we'll see if she calls up. 0330 123 1215 is the phone number. Did I just play this song?
Yeah, you did. You have.
Okay. Oh, that was in the last hour. Oh, we wanted this. Okay. I thought that sounded vaguely familiar. We want this nonsense.
Auto Glass Replace.
Ian Lee on Absolute Radio.
Hello, dear listener. We're celebrating the magic of quitting this evening. Everybody's quitting. Politicians are going to be quitting soon. David Cameron, possibly. Rebecca Wade-Brooke Thing? Coppers? What have you quit? Jobs I'm keen to hear about. The feeling of quitting is amazing. It is amazing. 0330 123 1215 is the telephone number to tell us about quitting. Also, when did you last feel alive? Gordon's alive. 0330 123 1215. And also, we kind of mentioned about I'm going on a safari and I'm tempted to shoot an animal. Blue Earp's on the line. Hello, Blue.
Good evening.
Good evening, Blue. What can I do for you?
Ian, I was going to call.
You have called.
And I know. I have.
Are you on hands free?
No, I'm not.
It's an awful. It does sound like you are. It sounds like your mouth is not even in the same room as the telephone.
Hang on, let's just have a look. No, I'm not on speaker anymore. No, I'm.
Okay, well let's see how far we get with this. Go on.
Well, then I decided not to call, and then I decided to call again when I heard you were going to go and kill an animal for fun.
That's the history of you're calling the show. Let's get to the meat and to veg.
Why? I'm all for killing. I'm a certified carnivore. I'm all for killing and eating.
Right.
But if you're just going to kill it for fun, point, you can go clay pigeon shooting. You know.
But there's no challenge with clay pigeon shooting. That's just a bit of clay.
The challenge is there in shooting an animal that's sitting in the sun and doesn't know you're there. What the challenge would be to go and wrestle it and kill it with a knife.
But Blue, you have no right. You have no right to even discuss this with me. You haven't even got the right to be on air talking about whether I should kill an animal or not, because you are responsible. You are responsible. No, you're not killing it. You're too cowardly to do it. You haven't got the balls to kill an animal. You pay for some farmer to go and do it for you.
I beg to differ.
Well, when have you killed an animal, Blue?
Well, I'm going to very soon. A fox killed my chicken. That's why I'm up today. A fox killed my chickens about 3 months ago, and I'm waiting for him. I'm going to get him when next time he comes through my manor. I'm going to nail him to the fence.
How are you going to kill him?
Well, I'm going to get a longbow or a crossbow, and I'm going to.
You won't kill a fox with a bloody longbow, Blue.
Of course I will.
You ever fired one before?
Well, it's not. I'll maim it, and it will die of infection.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, actually, Blue. It's better to maim an animal so it dies of an infection rather than killing it outright with a clean kill. With a clean kill, so that it will be there'll be hardly any suffering whatsoever. It'll be bang. It'll be out like that. Yeah, it's better to maim it and let it die after a few weeks with an infection. No, you're right. Yeah, no. You're totally right, Blue.
Being serious.
Good argument.
So, Ian, just quickly. Regarding maiming, you say you've not shot a gun before. You say you've not got a huge amount of experience with firearms. So you're going to go to Africa, get a very large animal, and you're going to kill it with one shot, are you? Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to hit it in the tail. That tail will get.
What do you think? What do you think they do, Blue? They give you an intensive full day of gun training. They're not going to let you just go out there and shoot a lioness or a zebra or a yak. Just without any training, you muppet. Of course they're going to. This is what you're paying. This is why I'm paying £15,000 for this holiday.
£15,000. You're paying £15,000 to kill an animal. When I had my stag do, we were discussing on the internet where we should go, and my friend was in the Far East, and he said he was in Vietnam at the time. He said you can shoot an AK-47 or a bazooka for this much money. For an extra £50, you can shoot it at a cow. So,
well, cow's no challenge, is it? Cow, there's no danger. Cow's not going to kill you.
A lion's no challenge. Yeah, but a
lioness.
You sit in the shade.
It's a lioness.
Yeah, well, that's a pair. So, they're going to do their research and make sure that lioness doesn't leave cubs.
In the wild plains of Africa, Blue, there is nothing more exciting in this life than one man against nature. One man with a rifle against the mighty lioness, protecting her cubs.
One man and a rifle.
Yeah.
Well, okay, no, that's fine. As long as you're happy and you can live with yourself.
Very much so.
Sport.
Very much so. You wait till I'm wearing a lioness coat to work in the winter, right? You're freezing your nuts off, right? And I'm wearing a coat made out of the purest lioness. And I'll do that thing as well where they hollow the head out and you can wear that like a helmet. And I'm going to look like the bee's knees.
And you're not going to eat any of this?
Not in the slightest, because I don't eat meat. I'm a man of principles, Blue.
Well, I think you've undermined all your principles in this one action. So
no, au contraire. I'm owed for everything I've done, for everything I've done for vegetarianism by not eating meat, all the animals I've saved, all the interviews I've done, I'm owed a lioness or a zebra. A zebra rug in my house, once it's decorated, will look beautiful. Beautiful!
They're going to have a field day with you.
I don't think so. Blue, lovely to talk to you. Maybe one day we'll find out what your real name is, because I'll be honest, Blue sounds a little bit ridiculous. 0330. Thank you, Blue. Nice to talk to you, mate. 0330 123 1215. I'm going to feel alive when I've got that gun, got that lioness or that zebra or that yak in my sights. Fantastic.
White lips, pale face, breathing fly, angels die.
Eloise has made me chuckle with her description of the Best Bit podcast. The best bit is Alan Caddick being a rent boy for old men and getting sacked for farting. It's true. That was the best bit of the show. Nothing will top that. If you've missed any of the show, you can download the full programme in a podcast format with all the songs and the news and the travel cut out, but with the swears included. And we've had a few this evening. I would recommend it for the swears on their own, because they're quite funny. You can also get the best bits, which tonight is Alan Caddick being a rent boy for an old man. And there's also the best of Barry as well. You can get those on iTunes. Type in Iain Lee, and while you're there, why not have a little look for Important Target, which is another podcast I do with my friend Ian Watkins. You can also get the Absolute Radio stuff on absoluteradio.co.uk/Iain Lee, IAINLEE. Why not follow me on Twitter as well, @Iain Lee, IAINLEE. And I will vet you, and if I like the look of you, I might let you be a follower. Jerry!
Ian.
Hey, Jerry! What can I do for you, sir?
I shot a man.
Wow. Just to see him die. No, did you?
Yeah.
When?
1989.
What a year. What a year. I was 16 years old then, had discovered booze, hadn't discovered much else. Had I? A little bit else. And was still as obsessed by the monkeys as I am today. But you were busy shooting people, Jerry.
Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there I'm Free out in 1989 by the Soup Dragons?
Well, let me just look at this bit of paper and I will... I thought it was a little bit earlier than then. Oh, it doesn't say. So I cannot correct you, Jerry, and I can't be bothered to Google it.
It's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger that will never be resolved on this show.
Yeah, shot a man with a 9mm Sterling submachine gun.
Oh, now, Jerry, let's put this into context. And I have to say, we don't condone the use of shooting people, guns to shoot people. But what the hell was going on in your crazy, crazy life?
I was in the Saturday and Sundays.
You were in the Saturdays?
Saturday and Sundays.
What the hell is the Saturday and Sundays?
Territorial Army.
Oh, my God. Yeah?
And the training was that good.
Yeah.
Didn't tell me where the safety catch was.
Right.
So, let off a few rounds.
Yeah.
Next time I saw the bloke, his head was in bandages.
So, what? You shot him in the head?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. You're lucky you didn't kill him.
Very lucky.
Yeah, very... Well, he was luckier. Jerry, when you were at school, right, and you were doing the javelin, did your sports teacher, ours was called Mr. Rose, did he tell you the story about a young lad who wasn't paying attention and someone threw a javelin and it went through his foot?
Now, our teacher was Frankie Cass.
What?
Frank Cass. He used to go, right, lads, get in the showers.
Yeah, I'm not saying you would have had the same sports teacher. I'm asking if they told the same story and therefore if it was apocryphal.
No, we couldn't afford javelins.
There we go. Thank you very much. Let's go to... he's devastated now. The Apprentice is finished and I wasn't on his podcast.
What?
Gatford.
I've still got one episode left to go.
Well, how? It's finished now. No one's interested.
Well, I've got to do a review of the final.
Boring.
Oh, well, OK. Well, breaking news. Breaking news. Yeah, no, breaking news.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a podcast about Dragon's Den.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
You've actually come up with a good idea there.
Would you like to come on that?
Nah. Yeah. No.
Yes, no.
No.
I'm going to get Bannatyne instead. I don't care.
I bumped into Bannatyne the other day.
Did you?
I don't think he recognised me.
Oh, fair enough. The world is crumbling around our very...
It is melting, man.
The number of websites that are now down is growing.
Go on, so what? The sun is now down. It was going to the lulsec Twitter page, which, you know, are they doing... I'm never quite sure. Now they're posting people's phone numbers, and I don't know if that's...
That seems a bit wrong, yeah.
I'm being careful, Gatford, because I don't want them to hack me.
No.
I don't want to get hacked.
They've also now hacked the Times, the Sunday Times, and quite hilariously... News International put a little thing up saying one of our websites has been hacked. They hacked that.
Oh, okay.
So they're clever, but if a little, you know, they're
it's
internet
interesting.
terrorists.
It's interesting what's going on. Of course, I'm not allowed to condone it at all, and I don't know if I do condone it. I'm just Gatford. Everything. I like things to be safe and solid and secure, and everything is collapsing. How long do you reckon David Cameron's got?
I think he's got one more week than Boris.
Oh, do you think Boris is going to go?
Yeah, he came out and said it was all loads of rubbish, and he said, I fully stand behind the police inquiry and rah-rah-rah.
Boris is going to go. I hadn't even thought of that as a possibility. There was
Boris is going to go.
Ken Livingstone was on 5 Live the other day, right?
Uh-huh.
And the reporters were going, so Ken, why didn't you uncover the hacking scandal when you were mayor? And he was like, well, A, it's not my job. B, why didn't the BBC uncover it? What are you having a go at me for? I'm Ken Livingstone.
Oh, he makes a good point.
He does make a good point.
Who else could be mayor then? I mean, if Boris is gone and Ken might not want the job now.
Well, Lembit Opik will see this as his way in. I was speaking to one of the Segway sisters who are thoroughly entertaining, but they're friends with that muppet.
Yeah.
And Lembit is still harbouring the fantasy of being the mayor of London. He's only doing it so he can get a little bit of, interest. Exactly. How does he do that? His girlfriend at the moment's hot. He must have a really good sense of humour.
A really long resume.
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I rang to tell you about the time that I quit.
Oh, because I remember we talked about that at the start of the show. Well done for
11 o'clock.
Yes.
Indeed, yes.
By the way, do you like the way that I'm doing topics and people are phoning in about the topics now?
It's a hark back to the good old days.
This is the fourth week of it working. Don't mention it out loud because people will realise what we're doing and then they'll go back to talking about balls.
Because then tomorrow they can tick their radar diaries.
Yeah, tick your radar diaries now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When I did work experience at school, they said you could have 2 weeks, and 1 week you can organise, and the second week we'll sort out for you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the 1 week that I organised, I managed to get myself onto a computer games magazine.
Oh, sweet. Which one?
CMVG.
CMVG. I was going to say that. Good magazine. Yes.
Yeah. Did 3, and then a couple of days on Sinclair User because I was a Spectrum fan at those days.
How did you get on that, man? That's awesome.
I rang up and asked.
Oh man, those are the days. And it was probably done in nothing more than some bloke's bedroom back then.
Well, it was a small office in Farringdon, but yeah, it was pretty much. And there was like one person who did all the writing for all the magazines.
Beautiful.
And just turned up and played games all day.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. Second week, the guy in charge of work experience at school set me up in a firm of what are those? I've forgotten the name. What are those people that go and knock on doors and get money from people?
Christians.
No. If you can't pay the money.
Oh, bailiffs.
Bailiffs. That's it. I worked in a firm of bailiffs.
What were you like 15 and you got a job as a bailiff?
No. I was in the office. Right. And
which one were you in the office? I've seen that.
That big bloke with the glasses.
I know exactly which one you were.
Yeah, Mackenzie Crook.
Yeah.
And it was in the office, and the guy comes into the office first morning, and I'm just making tea and filing and rubbish. Yeah. And the guy says to me, right, we've received our normal phone call. Someone with a gun is going to come down to the office and get their stuff. Normal procedure, lock the door, don't answer it, and call the police.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to lunch and never came back.
Wow, good
because
for
I
you.
thought, A, they have a procedure for that. That means it happens a lot. So that meant I wasn't going to risk my 15-year-old life.
Weren't they lucky as well that the man phoned up and said, I'm coming down, I've got a gun?
Yeah.
That's not often you give that warning.
But to be fair, he's lucky that the gun hadn't been taken away from him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're quite
worth a few quid.
Are you going to shoot a bear in the face, or are you going to aim for a leg?
I'm going to kill it.
Yeah, but are you going to do it? Are you going to do it humanely? Are you going to let it die of infection, or are you going to go straight for the head?
How can that bloke can't have a go at me for taking an animal out with 1, possibly 2, on a bad day 3 shots, when he's going to let a fox wander around for weeks until he goes gangrenous and dies of insanity?
I'm betting that bloke has a counter for how many wasps he kills each summer.
Hey, there was a picture in the Metro today, which is which is an excellent free newspaper. Maybe it wasn't the Metro; it might have been the Standard. Anyway, in China, they had this bee beard contest, right? You know what a bee beard is, yeah?
Yeah, I'm familiar with its word.
Okay, hiccups. So it's when you get a beard made out of bees, right?
Yeah.
And there was this poor soul covered in 16 kilograms, it may be, I don't know, of bees. Is that a lot of bees? Is 16 kilograms a lot?
Well, yeah. I mean,
right,
that's what? That's 16 bags of sugar?
16 kilograms of bees. 16 kilograms of beards. Bees.
A beard.
There's a lot of bees on a Chinese fella. I saw it in the paper. Hack that! Absolute Radio. Don't forget now, dear listener, that we, and by we I mean me, Eloise, and you, we've got a show pen pal, a proper pen pal. It's Amy in Sweden, and I need you to write her letters, otherwise this isn't going to work. And she's going to feel lonely. We'll let you type them. If you want to type them, you can type them, but we want letters sent to us that we will then send off to her in a big bundle of letters. And you can have, like, what do you normally put in letters to pen pals? Pictures of your pets, pictures of your kids or your brothers and sisters. You can write what you've been up to, your favourite foods, things that you like doing, bands that you've been to see, stuff like that. And this is genuine. We need you to do it, otherwise Amy is going to be a bit lonely. And then she's going to write back to us and we're going to read her letter out and it'll be lovely, won't it? Yeah, of course it will. Now, if you want to write to her, we're going to put the address on the Facebook page. It's on there at the moment. We're going to put it on the top of the Facebook page as a subject. Facebook.com/Iain Lee Show. But the address is Pen Pal Amy, care of Iain Lee, Absolute Radio, 1 Golden Square, W1F9DJ. Pen Pal Amy, care of Iain Lee, Absolute Radio, 1 Golden Square, London, W1F9DJ. We're going to put that on the Facebook page. And this is genuine. We need, even if you just want to scribble a quick note. I'm getting into writing thank you notes because now I've got a little boy. You have to write thank you notes for everything because it's polite. And my niece and nephew came round at the weekend, 3 and 6 respectively, and I hadn't got my birthday presents off them, right? And that was a month ago. So I got birthday presents on Sunday. It was awesome. And Dylan, my 6-year-old nephew, fair play to him, right? He's brilliant. He had made, with the help of his mum, but it was all his choice, like a mix CD. And he put some good stuff on there. The first song, right, I'm not a fan of The Doors, but the first song was a mashup of Blondie and The Doors. It was half good. Another song was on there that was not a song I would particularly listen to, but because he put it on the CD, it made me think, oh, fair play. He knows what he's 6. He's got pretty good taste in music, pretty hip taste in music. I need a dollar, dollar, dollar is what I need. Do you know that song, Eloise?
Yeah.
It's a big hit, isn't it?
Yeah, Aloe Black.
Hello, you. I need a dollar, dollar, dollar. He put that on. What else did he put on there? He put on some songs that we play on here. He's got, for a 6-year-old, right? I was expecting to be like Heads and Shoulders and Yellow Submarine. He got some good stuff on there. Fair play, that young man. So I bought some thank you cards. I must write them tomorrow and send some thank you cards. So I'm into writing letters and cards and things. So do send us letters to pass on to our pen pal. Pen pal Amy, care of Iain Lee, Absolute Radio, 1 Golden Square, London, W1F9DJ. Let's go all the way to Dublin to Nick Roche. Hello, Nick.
Hello, Ian. And you've just been speaking about an infant educating you in the world of music.
Exactly, says it's sometimes it's the best way.
Well, in some ways that's why I've turned to you, because I see you kind of maybe mentally as an infant, but but musically as a giant. And I think I've kind of discovered the Kinks this weekend, and I think I need you to kind of take my hand.
Don't be rude, mate. Someone discovered them about 47 years ago.
Yeah, it was me, via the gift of the time travel.
Via the gift of the time travel, which is the time travel, of course, is one of the greatest genres in film.
Yeah, because you have lent me that book in the future. I don't know if you know that.
Yes. Oh, yes. And you never give it back to me.
Yeah, we know how it ends, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I saw these Kinks. Did you see the Kinks documentaries on?
I Sky Plus them, and I watched the Dave Davis one. Because I like Dave Davis. He's brilliant, and he's had a stroke, and he doesn't look. Considering what he's been through, he looks well, but you can tell he's been troubled. But fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Because no one ever interviews Dave Davis.
No, I'd heard the Dave Davis interview with you a few weeks ago, and
yeah.
Ray Davis.
Eloise sorted that out, and total kudos to her. She gets excellent guests, but to get Dave Davis was I thought a coup. Dave Davis and Mike Nesmith. 2 of the best guests you've got, Eloise, so well done. Thank you for that. You're welcome.
She's pretty good, isn't she?
She's pretty good, but let's not get her away.
Yeah.
I like to be a little bit mean to her, because then it keeps her on her toes. She keeps trying to impress me. If I keep going around saying how good she actually is, she'll sit back chomping on a fat cigar and never do anything ever again. So
chomping, you're trumping.
Well, trumping it would possibly be. Well, so I saw the Dave Davis. I didn't watch the Kinks at the BBC yet, and I watched the first 10 minutes of the Ray Davis Imagine programme.
Well, yeah, because I'm halfway through that myself at the moment, and it's just all a bit affecting. I'd never really kind of listened to all the Kinks in one big chunk before. I knew that all their songs, disparately were really good, but
yeah, they're good.
Yeah, it's quite effective.
Some of their stuff is rubbish. Their 70s stuff, a lot of it is rubbish. Although I'm in the minority in that I think the Schoolboys in Disgrace album is actually pretty good. No one else does.
That's kind of what I'm coming to you to ask about. Where should I start?
You want albums, yeah?
Yeah.
My favourite Kinks album of all time, and it's overlooked, is Arthur.
Right.
Arthur's a great album. It's got Victoria on there, which is my favourite Kinks song.
It's a good one.
And I think it's a cracking album. It's slightly hard work, but it's worth the effort.
Yeah, because some of the stuff is like clappy, happy '60s sort of stuff, and it's like not my bag. But then the cream shines through. Is that a mixed analogy? It is, isn't it? But it's shiny cream. From Ray and Dave.
Village Green Preservation Society is kind of seen as their masterpiece, although it's not my favourite, really.
Really? Have you heard a song called Scattered? Have you heard that? It's from like their 1993 album.
1993?
Yeah, they showed a clip. I don't want to spoil your Kinks at the BBC, but they showed a clip of them at Juice Hall in 1993 playing like a then new song called Scattered, and it was quite. It was one of the many times during the evening I sort of teared up a little bit.
I don't know that one. I should. I look forward to.
Yeah, it might not have the same effect, but just Waterloo Sunset and Days, and then just the direct use of the Davis brothers, and you're just like, it's all a bit much,
They're good. They are good, man. Hey, look, there's a Kinks song here I've never heard on the system. This is called Father Christmas. Hang on a second.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I've never heard this.
Oh, it's a Christmas song. It's amazing.
Here we go. Let's have a listen for a second. It's not one of their best. I tell you what, we'll end with This Time Tomorrow, which is the song I think that Dave Davis sings at the end of the Dave Davis documentary. We'll play that because that's a great song.
Good, yes, it's a good way to end it then.
But also another good album is Lola versus what is it called? Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Round. That's a good album.
Okay, yeah, Lola, what a song as well. I mean, you hear it all the time, but then kind of when you stop and think about it, it's like that's some brilliant stuff.
I'm a big fan of listening to songs that have become cliches as though it's the first time I've heard them. Go and listen to Good Vibrations, right? And imagine you've never heard it before. It is amazing.
I did that with Daydream Believer.
I was going to say that. That's another one to do, yeah.
On one of your LBC shows. And it was sort of like, you're not supposed to play music, and then he played this song. And I was like, yeah, whatever. It's taken me away from Barry and Vinny for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And, it's just overcome by it, It's because it's such, you think it's like a trite wedding song almost, And
exactly.
Then, no, it's perfect.
If you listen, because what you do is you hear a song a few times, or something like Daydream Believer, you hear it a million times, and your brain switches off to it, and it becomes wallpaper. But if you sit down and say, right, for the next 2 minutes, 45 seconds, I'm actually going to listen to this. It's amazing.
But you have to be in the right mood as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to force that sometimes. Sometimes you need that song to kind of come up behind you and sort of chloroform you, and suddenly you're in its grasp. And,
when I went and saw Ray Davis a few weeks ago at the Royal Festival Hall playing the complete Village Green album with a 100-piece choir and the London Philharmonic Orchestra. I pray to God they recorded it because it was amazing. It's not my favourite album. But with the orchestra behind it and a few new arrangements, it was amazing.
And I guess the thing is, with people the age they are, you kind of take what you can get from them at this stage as well.
Listen, I go and see every time Brian Wilson plays. I go and see him because you never know what's going to happen. You never know.
Are you frothing about a smile?
Oh, yo! When is that? That's August, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
A smile is being released. Do you know, I have probably got most of the stuff they're going to release anyway on bootleg in various forms. To have it in a beautiful box with I'm sure there's going to be a great booklet with it. And
you have it because I think he's been looking for it for a while.
Yeah, well, exactly. I have got the smile tapes. Nick, lovely to talk to you, mate. Thank you for getting... I know it's an effort to get through, but thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye. There we go. Well, it was fun, wasn't it? If you missed the Kink stuff on BBC 4 on Friday, that was great. Great, I'm going through a bit of a Kinks thing again. Every now and then I just go, the Kinks are a good band, aren't they? That's it. Dear listener, that is your... Who's in tomorrow? Is it Izzy?
Yes.
Izzy Sooty is coming in tomorrow, which will be fun because I think she's hilarious. So that'd be good. Wednesday I'm off, and then we have Puppetry of the Penis coming in on... You've got to come in the studio with me, Eloise. I can't have two... I'm assuming it's two Winkles.
Yeah.
I can't have two Winkles literally a foot away from me on my own. You come in, but you've got to sit on your hands, okay?
What else would I be doing?
No grabbing. I know what you're like when you see a penis. No grabbing. All right, for goodness sakes. Good work tonight, Eloise. Well done.
Thanks, bye.
So, Mark Crossley up next?
Yes.
That'll do, won't it? What a song to end on. The Kinks, this time tomorrow. Oh, man, this is great. This is what it feels like to be alive.